How's it going, everybody? Today, we will create a quiz using Google Forms. By the end of the video, you'll know how to add questions, change question types, create an automatic self-grading quiz, see how the answers are graded, choose correct answers, and even analyze the results. We will be creating a simple computer general knowledge quiz, so I hope you're ready. There are 4 ways to start a new Google Form quiz. You can begin by visiting your browser and searching google.com. Then go to the right-hand side and click on the app launcher. Scroll down till you see Form, then click on it. This will take you to the Google Forms dashboard, where you can now click on Blank Form to create a new form. Secondly, you can access Google Forms from your Google Drive. All you have to do is click on the new menu, and a Forms icon will be displayed for you to select. Or you can go to forms.google.com. That will also take you to the Google Forms dashboard. But the easiest way is to go to forms.new, which will immediately drop you into a new form. I will leave a link in the description box that you can click to create a new form. Here we are on a blank form in the Google Form app. The first thing I want to do is change the name of my quiz to something besides Untitled Form. I want to name this Computer Quiz 1. The name here is only visible to me, so that way I can know which form I'm working on. The title here is the one visible on the quiz page, and I'm going to call it Computer General Knowledge Quiz. I will also add a description so that anybody visiting this page knows what it's all about. Next, I want to customize the theme. If you go to the menus above, the first icon is a paint palette. When we click on it, it opens up the theme options. When you scroll down to the header section, you can add a header image, which will go above where the title is. I will click on Choose Image to add one. There are different options to choose from, but I want to upload from my PC. So I've already created an image using Canva. The image is 1600 by 400. I used a pre-designed Canva template, which is simple to create, but you can use any image from Google or not add an image at all. It's up to you. So that will add the header up at the top above where my form title is. After adding the header, Google Forms automatically generated some colors from the image that you can use as the theme colors, which works nicely. But you can also add your custom color if you want. I will pick one of the colors. And down below, you will notice that whenever I choose any color, it automatically generates a lighter version of the color to use for the background. That looks perfect, so I will close this tab. By default, whenever you open Google Forms, you are automatically placed on the Questions tab. We also have 2 other tabs, the Response tab and the Settings tab. Let's go to Settings. The settings are divided into 3 categories: Make this a quiz, Responses, and Presentation. I will toggle Make this a quiz. So this allows us to convert the form into a quiz. Therefore, we can set answers to each question. We have release grades. If you select immediately after each submission, this will show the result after users submit the form. You want to do this if you are not using any type of questions that need reviewing. For example, paragraph questions, where users will have to define or explain a term. This type of question needs reviewing. When you select Later, after manual review, this will not submit the answers immediately. You can then review the answers and manually mark answers that need review, like paragraph questions. This will also automatically collect users' email addresses so that you can send them results later. For this tutorial, I will just select immediately after each submission. We have other settings here that I will leave as it is. Under Responses, we have Collect Email Addresses. When you select Verify, this will automatically collect the email address associated with the user's computer. If you are a teacher and you are creating a quiz for your students, then this option is probably for you, because I guess your students are already signed into their computers using their respective school email addresses. I will toggle on Limit to 1 response. So that way, after users submit the form, they won't have the option to retake the quiz. I forgot to mention, when you select Responder Input, this will create a new form that will ask users to submit their email if that is the method you are aiming for. Let's head back to Settings. Lastly, we have Presentation. I will toggle on Show Progress Bar. This is useful if you are creating a quiz with over 40 questions with multiple sections, so users can see their progress. Shuffle Question Order allows you to shuffle the questions. So this will present the answers differently to users, so it will look like the questions are not the same, but I often turn this off. You can set a confirmation message. This is the message users see after submitting the form. I will click on Edit and then maybe type, "Great job on this quiz." Impressive. Other options, like viewing the results summary, I'm sure you don't want to do that. So that will be all for the Settings tab. The Responses tab allows you to see responses to the quiz. Now let's go back to the Questions tab to start adding questions. Google Form was nice to add a placeholder question for us, so we will click on this and leverage it as our first question. By default, the question type is multiple choice, but we can change that to anything we want, like a short answer, for example. If this is not a school test, if this is a kind of quiz any random person can take, you need to collect some personal details to know who is submitting the form. So I will first create questions that will not be added to our overall grade. For example, the first question I want to enter is full name. So this is a short answer question type. You can toggle this on to make it a required question. You can click on this menu icon to add a description if you want. I can just type enter your full name. Click on answer key, then make this 0 points because we don't want to make this a grade point. Then click on done. On the right-hand side here, we will click on this plus icon to add a new question. I will just add a drop-down question. Then type gender. Then answers will be male. So we have a suggestion here, which I will just click on add all. Then make this a required question and make sure the answer key has 0 points. Next, I will click on this last icon that says section. That breaks this form into another page. So the first page is used to collect some personal information, and then we will begin the quiz in the second section. When you go to the menu above, we have this icon that looks like an eye. When we click on it, it opens up another page that lets us preview our form, so that way you can see what the form looks like. And at the end of the form, you have the next button that takes you to the next section. We will have to fill out the form before we can move to the next section, but there's nothing there for now because we haven't created any questions there. Let's go back to our form. I will title this section Computer Quiz Questions, then add some instructions. Next, I will click on the plus icon to add a question. So the first question will be a short answer. Then I will enter the question, what does CPU stand for? Then click on Answer key. I will assign 10 points. Then enter the correct answer. You need to be careful with short answers as it is case sensitive. Click this button to make other answers wrong. I will enter all the formats I know people will enter, but still, I don't recommend automatic answers for short answer or paragraph questions. A wrong spelling or case can make the answer wrong. You can, however, add a description by clicking on the menu and then add some instructions. For example, leave your answer in lowercase. Cross-check your spellings. So only the student who didn't listen to the instructions will get the answer wrong. And don't forget to always mark all the questions as required, so that users will not mistakenly leave any question unanswered. Click on the plus icon to add a new question. This time, we are using the more popular question type, multiple choice. I will add my question and a list of options. Then, click on Answer key. I will assign 10 points to this question and then pick the correct answer. Click Done. And then make the question a requirement. Click the plus icon to add a new question. This time, I will select checkboxes. This allows users to pick more than one answer. I will enter the question and a list of answers. Click on Answer key. I will assign 10 points, then select all the right answers. Users have to pick all the right answers without picking any wrong ones to get the answer right. Click the plus icon to add a new question. Next, we will choose drop-down. Then I will enter the question, then a list of options. I will click on the Answer key. I will assign 20 points to this question and then select the right answer. Click on Done. So that adds a drop-down question. Add a new question. You can scroll up to see all of your questions. This time, I will select a paragraph. If you choose to submit answers immediately after the form, then this type of question should not be used. But if you will manually view the answer before sending results, then you can add paragraph questions. This is just for example. I will add my question, but I won't assign any point to it. Make the question required. Add a new question. This time, let's scroll down to this category. I will select multiple grids. Add my question. In the rows, I want to enter RAM, hard drive, mouse, and keyboard. Then the columns will be for their functions. So this is how it looks. Let's click on the answer key. I will assign 5 points to each question. Then pick the correct answers. Then click Done. Let's add our last question. This time, let's add an image question. I will add the question. Then I will click on this image icon to add an image. Then I will upload one from my PC. Then I will adjust the image to the size I want. Now let's add the options. I will make this a required question. Lastly, I usually go through all of the questions to make sure they are all marked as required. Our total points are 70. Everything is looking good. You will see all submitted answers in the response section. And then settings. Up in the menu above, we already talked about the first 2 icons. We also have an undo and redo icon, but you can simply type Ctrl-Z and Ctrl-Y. We also have this copy response link button, which is only useful in the response tab to copy responses. The last icon here allows you to add collaborators to work on this form with you. Then we have the Publish button. We will click on that and then click on Publish. This publishes our form. You can click on the Publish button again and then this icon to copy a link to the form, which you can now share via social media, email, or with anybody who needs to answer this quiz. Then click Save. This menu icon allows you to do things like make a copy of the form, unpublish the form, and so on. Now I'm going to place this link on another PC and let's test our form. So the first page allows us to add our details, which I will just fill in, and then click on Next. Now we can start answering the questions. I will answer all the questions quickly. Then I will submit the form. We can see the response we entered. Good job on the quiz. Impressive. I can click on this button to view my score. All right, I got 40 out of 70, and I can check the answers I got right and wrong. So that's just how the form works. Let's go back to our backend. Now we have one response, and we can view all of the responses. You can also export your responses as an Excel file. Hopefully you will learn everything you need to know about creating a quiz using Google Forms. If you find the video helpful, click the like button and subscribe to the channel.